Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. So Game 3 is officially in the books. Not a good game. I'm gonna call it what it is. First half was phenomenal. We were at a point where we were up by 20 points. The problem is we came out in the second half and we just looked flat-footed. We didn't appear locked in. It felt like we were just... It felt like we just, I don't know, came out of halftime and kind of took the game for granted, and it slipped out of our hands. They won the game 106-100, I believe, and there was a stretch in the third quarter where, it was 106-100. There was a stretch in the third quarter where we didn't score a basket for 6 minutes straight. Exactly 6 minutes. You can't do that. I'm just going to let you know, you can't do that. And I don't even necessarily think that's the Knicks. I don't even think that's good Knicks. I think that's bad Pacers. And the reason I say that is because, well, we have a habit for doing that. I don't know why, but there's been plenty of times in the regular season where we'll be beating the brakes off a team in the first half, and then we come out in the second half and we have a 4 to 6 minute stretch where we just can't score a fucking basket. So, I don't know. I don't know what happened, but, I understand Aaron Nesmith did come out of the game in the third quarter, but that shouldn't have been enough to just completely disrupt the fucking roster to a point where we couldn't score a basket for 6 minutes straight. We had a 20-point lead, and it diminished very quickly. Then in the fourth quarter, Karl-Anthony Towns had, 24 points in total this game. He scored 20 of them in the fourth quarter. This is one of those things, man, where I say Miles Turner's not a good one-on-one defender. I hate to say that. I think he's been very, very good this year. But the only guy on our team with even a chance to defend Karl-Anthony Towns is Miles Turner, and Miles Turner is just not a good one-on-one defender. He's a good rim protector. He's good at blocking shots. He's good at stepping out and shooting threes. But when it comes to, preventing other bigs from scoring points, Miles is not good at it. And that's always been a gripe that I've had with him. And in this game, it just reared its ugly head. I understand defense is not just an individual thing, but when it comes to stopping Karl-Anthony Towns, Miles Turner has the assignment, and it wasn't good. Now, I will say this. I'm not really worried about this. I know there's a lot of people who are probably freaking out. Knicks fans are losing their fucking mind. They're like, Knicks in 6. They win one fucking game. All of a sudden, it's Knicks in 6. I think we're fine. I didn't expect us to sweep them. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody did. Granted, we should be up 3-0. Don't get me wrong. We should be. When you're going on runs where you're up by 20 points, you should never let a team back into a game. And we did that. We let them get back into the game. We had a 6-minute stretch where we didn't score a single point. You can't do that. Jalen Brunson, I'm going to admit it, guys. Jalen Brunson looks kind of human. I can't believe I'm saying that. Game 1, he didn't look human. But game 2 and 3, he's looked like a regular fucking basketball player. Last night, Jalen Brunson had 23 points, 1 assist and 2 rebounds. He shot 6 of 18 from the field and 1 of 5 from 3. If we don't go scoreless for 6 minutes and we just... Actually, really, if we just don't go scoreless for 6 minutes, we probably win this game. So, and I'm going to be honest, I don't like the odds of that happening again in the series. I just don't. It's very, very rare you go on a 6-minute stretch without scoring a single basket. So, I'm just going to say this, man. Game 4, still at home. So, if we can go up 3-1, I'm not sweating yet. You know what I'm saying? If they tie the series up 2-2, then it's time to sweat a little bit. But Game 4 is in Cambridge, so I'm not really I'm not super scared about it. I expected this series to be over in 6 games. I still expect it to be over in 6 games. I think we're the better basketball team. And I think that's obvious. I think we have more depth. Yeah, they ran Mitchell Robinson in the starting lineup last night and brought Josh Hart off the bench, which was different. But Thibs realizes now that against us specifically, he can't play his starters 40 minutes. Thibs has finally taken the fucking hint that, if you're going to play the Pacers, you cannot send Mikal Bridges out there for 45 minutes. Landry Shamet actually got some minutes last night. DeLon Wright actually got some minutes last night. You know what I'm saying? Thibs finally is playing some dudes that he normally wouldn't fucking play. And honestly, it wasn't bad. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know why Thibs has always had this notion in his head that you can't play guys because they're bad at defense. Two of your best players, your two best players are fucking horrendous at defense. So Thibs doesn't really have an excuse to play Mikal Bridges 45 minutes. He doesn't have an excuse to play, Jalen Brunson 42 minutes. He doesn't have an excuse to play Karl-Anthony Towns 42 minutes. And it looks like he's finally starting to realize that. Bench unit wise, though, I think we're the superior unit. There was at a point last night where our bench unit had outscored theirs 19-2. I think that was in the first half. I'm very curious what the bench scoring was. Actually, this doesn't even tell me. I'd have to look at it, but unfortunately, that's not a statistic on this app. But I do know we're the significantly better bench team, and that's what's going to determine this series. And I still believe that. I'm still fine with that. I didn't expect us to sweep in this series, but I do believe yesterday was a game we should have won. It was very obvious that for the first half, we were the better team. It was blatantly obvious, actually. Then the third quarter rolls around. You go on a 6-minute stretch where you don't score a basket. You let him back into the game. And Karl-Anthony Towns, regardless of what you think of him, the dude is a great basketball player. Okay? There's a reason I wanted us to trade for him a year or two ago. And it's because the dude is a walking double-double. He had 24 and 15 last night. And honestly, kind of ate Miles Turner's lunch, if I'm being honest with you. The guy can ball. He's a 3-level scorer. He can score from anywhere on the fucking floor. He can score down low. He can shoot the 3. And yeah, it's not great. I'm going to call it what it is. It's not great, but he can put the ball on the floor and get to the basket. So I know we worry about Brunson, but you do have to worry about Karl-Anthony Towns too. And there will be adjustments. Rick is going to make adjustments. We'll come out and play them probably slightly differently. In game 4. I'm assuming down the stretch we'll, when Cat gets the ball in the post, we'll probably run more doubles. But it's just the idea. This was a game that was ours that we let get away from us. I still am not convinced the Knicks are winning this series. I'm just not. I don't think they're that good of a team. I've been saying it all year. People think I'm full of shit, but I don't think they're that good of a basketball team. I just don't. If any of their starters do not perform like up to expectation, it's very, very hard for them to win. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you have Miles McBride on the bench, you have DeLon Wright, you have Landry Shamet, you have all these guys who look like they're going to end up, playing more often now throughout the rest of the series. But I'm not taking DeLon Wright over TJ McConnell. I'm not taking, Landry Shamet over Benedict Mathurin. I'm not taking Miles McBride over Obi Toppin. You know what I'm saying? So I'm whatever on it. You know what I'm saying? I expected us to lose a game. I didn't expect us to lose this game because, we had a really good lead. We really established ourselves early. But when you have a 6-minute stretch in the third quarter in a playoff game where you don't score a single point and you let the other team back in, it becomes very hard to win. Not only that, but, mentally, you have to overcome that mentally as well. Like, the whole team knows, we haven't scored a basket in 6 minutes. That's a mental barrier. So we get to go into game 4, mental reset. I'm expecting us to win game 4. If we don't, then I'd start to worry. But I have a feeling, we usually bounce back after losses. So I'm not super worried about it. I still think we're the better basketball team. I think we're the better basketball team on paper. I think we're the better basketball team in general, just the way we play. We push when we dictate the pace of the game and we make them play to our standards, we win. But in the second half, we just fell apart. 6 minutes without a basket is a very, very rare thing to happen in the NBA, but it happens to us a lot. It's happened throughout the season. Even in the regular season, we've had moments where we'll go 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, even 8 minutes without scoring a single fucking basket. Okay? So, and I don't think we've ever won any of those games. So, it's just the idea. It is what it is. The game's behind us at this point. We still have home court advantage for next game, so I'm fine with that. But I think they're going to be better next game. I just do. I think it's like just the two things that had to happen for them to win that game, I just don't think happen again. I don't see Karl-Anthony Towns going off for 20 points in one quarter again. And I don't see us going 6 minutes without scoring a single fucking basket in a quarter again. I just don't. So that's why I'm still optimistic. If that's what has to happen for the Knicks to win a game against us and only win by 6 points, I'm fine with it. I'm fine. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report. I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.